Okay, let's check this. So, Stolen Moon. Okay, so we want to talk to Woljif. There's probably a follow-up on that. Okay, Dragon's Fate. Find Aranka the Desmond Singer. The beautiful bard Aranka has found refuge somewhere in the city among friends or devotees. Unlikely. Oh, these are the other ones. Okay. Yeah, so signs of a highly talented singer and musician. Finish liberating Canabras. Kalesa will strike soon. Gotta fight her head on. Clerics have joined the Great Garrison. So mostly talk to Irabeth and maybe find people. I think that's the only thing. Oh, but we want to talk to Woljif. That's the one. He's in there. This is why I wanted full voice acting.
Something to show you. Ta-da! A real beaut, isn't it?
So you did betray the thieflings.
That cuts me deep, Chief. You and I saw who the traitor was. It's just that when we robbed the shop, I went in first and took what I wanted. Nothing wrong with that. Although, of course, I did think about hiding the moon and just taking myself off somewhere warm when all this blows over. But only because I want to see the world. Is it a crime to want to travel? Huh? Is that what counts for treachery these days?
You really have the amulet this whole time.
Since that night, Chief, Melround didn't even set eyes on it. While he was dealing with the golem, I sneaked past them, and that was that.
You've been searched by the guards. How did you manage to hide the amulet?
Thieves have their ways.
Oh boy. Remind me, why is the item so important?
Do you really not remember it? Oh, I thought you would appreciate it. It's from the old man Fileman, the owner of the Ancient Trees and Wonders shop. It's the pride of his collection. The Moon of the Abyss, an amulet with a rare crystal crafted by an unknown maker. When I think of how much this thing is worth, it makes my head spin.
Why didn't you give the amulet to Kresme right away?
What? So she would slay me right away, you mean? You saw how antsy she was over Canabras and all this. So I did it. I took the Moon of the Abyss. But I didn't go to Irabeth. And Big Sister wouldn't hear my explanations. She doesn't have the time. I even thought I'd hide the moon somewhere, and then when all the noise had died down, I'd go get it and make a run for it. I'm sick of the thieflings. And they never appreciated me anyway.
Why did you steal the Moon of the Abyss? You wouldn't have been able to sell an item so rare anyway.
Why, he asks? It's expensive. Pretty. And you know, it's my amulet, actually. Not meaning I stole it, but I mean, this is my inheritance. My grandma and I were poor. All we had was a jewelry box with the moon in it. She used to store it under the floor in the basement, and she'd take it out sometimes just to look at it. She was always nicer when she had a few drinks in her, so I could ask her things then. One time I asked where she got it from, and she said it was from a demon. You know, the demon who was my grandfather. He said the moon was to be passed down. My ma was good for nothing and nobody, so that's why Grandma decided to keep the amulet for me. She used to say it would be mine when I grew up. But she couldn't wait until I grew up. She squandered my inheritance when she became a drunk. Took it to Fileman's shop and pawned it. He gave her some coppers for it, and she didn't even haggle. Just grabbed them and ran back to the tavern before last orders. I've been going to Fileman's to look at the moon ever since I was a kid. He chased me away, but I just kept going back, so eventually he gave up. He didn't skimp on security. The place was like a fortress, so he wasn't worried about a street rat like me pinching anything. Even when I got more skilled, I couldn't get any closer to it. One day, I had no one to go with. Another day, there were only oafs who'd never stolen anything more than a church donation box. But when Charisme had planned everything out, I realized I had a chance to get the moon and move away from here. Maybe to Garen. I hear it's warmer there. I've stayed with the family for too long.
You deceived the people who considered you a friend. That's not the way you treat your friends.
Family, friends. You know, some people don't believe in gods, so gods don't exist for them. And I don't believe in family. All that heartwarming talk about sticking together. Ugh. People like to say those things, but when push comes to shove, Sister Charisme used to say that us tieflings were one family, and you see how that turned out. And did you hear that excuse for an apology? I did the right thing. And I was right to want to run when I just planned on stealing the Moon of the Abyss. Everything turned out as it should. Whatever you think, I owe you. I'm not just a thief. I have my own business selling things. Thanks to you, I'm still in the family. And we have the black market sewn up in this city. It's a good way to sell valuables. So, if you need anything, a scroll or something, just say the word. I have a little portal to our people in Erosian. You put a note there, and you get what you need. I can't get you anything big, but what they do have is all high quality. Nothing's too good for you, Chief. What's mine is yours. For a price, of course.
Can I buy things from him now? I can, in fact. And they're pricey. Bulk selling. Deal. Unfortunately, kind of low on money, but that's okay. Let's sort price descending order. Hammer of Discipline. Extra damage to chaotic creatures. Poison Dart. Estoc of Purity. Positive energy damage. It's good. Monster Hunter. Dwarven Urgosh grants bonus on attack rolls against magical beasts. Star Knife. Guess is just a melee weapon. Currently not too interested in any of these. Neat idea though, but not really useful for me. Okay. So, is there a way I can check the world map? No. I think we're done, though. Like, we have to find what happened to the singer, but I haven't heard anything of singers. We haven't seen Kaylessa yet. I guess maybe I should look it up. What's our strategy for the attack on the Great Garrison? Actually, no, I have an idea. What if we go back... If we go back, not to the Great Garrison, but the other one? Where the dwarf was. Because he said, clear out the defenders of this city. And I did. I'm going to go see if I can do it. And if I can't, oh well. How do you even spell that? Would it be like U-H-U-H-A-U-H? I have no idea. One way or another, we're going to get rid of Woljif. We want more bow, less stab. I don't actually know if it's a good idea. But I don't know. I don't need a thief, I don't think. Let's see if we can take, not the Great Garrison. Tower of Estrad. Only take 2 hours. Gosh, we got fast. Why did we get fast? Is it because of the lore nature checks? I don't know. Hello, fools. Welcome to Archery Town. Ow. You cannot frighten spiders. That makes sense. Are we fatigued already? Cripes. I guess we'll go back and sleep before we do anything else. Oh, we did do a lot of walking, didn't we? I have no idea if this is time for this yet. Now, is he back? Oh. Yep, Faxon. Redskin, long-haired tiefling. Oh. Oh. Is this the, wait, no, it was the tiefling woman. Never mind. Redskin, long-haired tiefling raises his pain-filled eyes to you. A huge magical brand stands out on his chest, freshly burned onto his skin. The flesh around the brand is inflamed and has an unhealthy-looking hue. Hey, stop! Who are you? Crusaders! Well, I was looking at a couple more Crusader heads in my collection after all. The demons bare their teeth at you, looking ravenous. Their mortal followers start to clamor for your blood, describing in detail the manner and order in which they will tear your body to pieces. I can kill you right now, or I can give you a few more minutes of life, if you answer my questions. You won't be getting out of here either way, so why not? Let's have a chat. Who are you? You don't look like a museum worker. I am Faxon, server of Baphomet, ranking member of the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth in this city, and the new master of this tower, and you better watch your mouth, or else my curses will rip your soul to flaming shreds. Time for an experiment. A sheet of paper appears in Nenio's hands. Mr. Cultist, allow me to ask, what exactly will you do to us when you inevitably vanquish us? I'll curse your soul, skin you alive, and piss on you while you lie there dying. 1, 2, 3 threats, and all of them already on my list. Nenio checks the page and sighs. This specimen of demon worshipping is utterly devoid of ingenuity. I'm not certain that his superiors would even notice the death of an underling as lacking in imagination as he. You filthy scum, I'll break your legs so they bend the other way, but you won't be able to scream because I'll cut off your ears and then shove them down your throat. Oh, that's better, much better. Her pencil dances across the page. 2 totally new threats for the encyclopedia. Thanks for your contributions, Mr. Cultist. What did you forget in the museum? For the last 3 months, this tower has served as a cover for me and my servants. Set up my base in the cellar of the local museum and smuggled an entire regiment of my Templars into the city. It's the ideal place for a secret hideout. The museum was left in the charge of a doddering old man who can hardly remember his own name. When our Lord struck Canabras, we plunged a blade into the Crusader's back, and a glorious fight it was. Now Lord Xanther has ordered us to strip Canabras of everything that might be of interest to him and remove it from the city. He is a great master of the occult and magical arts, and the museum is chock full of all kinds of relics that could prove very interesting to study. You look awful. What's wrong with your tattoo? The tiefling gives you a hateful glare. Lady Managa was displeased with me. She branded me with this rune to make me suffer. Managa wanted me to subjugate the demons of our ally, Discari, to wrest control away from that idiot Kilas, but I failed. But it seems my luck is turning. You don't look like rank and file crusaders. When I bring Manago to your heads, all will be forgiven and she'll remove this brand. I saw you take a beating from that other demon. Thanks for the show. The tiefling's face twists into a grimace of rage and humiliation. You'll pay for that. Kylus will pay. You'll all pay. No one will dare gloat at Faxon's expense. My curses will be terrifying. Die. His eyes narrow in fury, and he releases a feral shriek that sets his gang slavering for your blood. The demons and Templars give answering howls to their leader and surge forward to attack. Hi. Yes. So, here's the deal. Oh, I guess I don't have the high ground. I should probably kind of somewhat pay attention to who I'm shooting at. Are they running? Are they running? No, they're finding the other way around. They can't get to me. The fools. I should probably kill him before he fireballs me to death. Now he's dead. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Okay, what else we got? Probably all sorts of kind of goodies. Most of it's probably just got junk and armor. But you know what? I'll grab what I can. Okay, there's a trap up there. This is not surprising to me. Oh. I apparently can't do that. Well, what else do we have around here? Couple of secrety bits. Oh. Yeah, that would have hurt him. Yeah, I could have hopped the gap, but I don't think I care. Alright. Looks like I can just disarm the trap from here. I probably could have actually just attacked these guys at the first opportunity. But honestly, this is fine. Kinda hoping I'd find that dwarf again. Oh, but no, he killed the other guy. Man, look at all these traps that I could have used to just absolutely wreck his face. Oh well. Let's go check out the basement real quick. I was expecting this place to be a lot more dangerous, which is why I haven't come back yet, but, yeah, I just had that guy. Elmer, a pale and frightened half-elf, looks at you warily. His face is twisted into a grimace like he just ate something slimy. Hey, who are you? Praise Baphomet. What are you doing here? Did Faxon send you? What a noise outside. I was busy making a list of the relics. Did something happen? Who are you? I'm Telmer, a scribe and senior aide to Lord Xanthir the Plagued One. And do forgive me, but Faxon has been assigned to this command, has he not? Where is he? What are you doing here? I'm compiling a list of valuable Crusader artifacts. Lord Xanthir has ordered that everything of use should be transported from Canabras and saved from the looting and destruction. We chose the museum as a place to collect and sort through all the trophies. Unfortunately, the local thieves have proved even quicker off the mark than the demons. They ransacked the museum in the first few hours of the assault. But there are some objects of interest among the exhibits they left behind. The museum custodian has been kind enough to advise me on those. But where's Faxon? Where's the museum custodian? Over in the gallery. I deceived him, told him I was a crusader. It wasn't difficult. The old geezer's out of his mind. So, where's Faxon? Die. The half-elf leaps back nimbly, pulling a sheaf of paper from his bag. No, I have valuable letters from Lord Xanthir here. I must destroy them. The cultist balls up the pages in his fist and shoves them into his mouth, then begins furiously chewing like a hamster. A moment later, his eyes bulge and he opens his mouth, which is stuffed with masticated paper. He tries to cough, but nothing comes out. The failed saboteur looks at you in desperation. His eyes are streaming. His face is glowing paler by the second, and he falls to his knees. A strangled wheeze emerges from behind the wad of wet paper. His expressions veer from the hilarious to the grotesque as he signals for your help. No, I want to read what it says. Spit it out. Want some salt or pepper with that? No, I've never tried eating paper myself, but a little seasoning goes a long way. Whatever the meal. Help the poor wretch. I don't care if those pages contain the innermost secrets of Baphomet himself. I'm not touching that. The cultist coughs violently, and then, after taking a trembling breath, leaps up and takes off running. He disappears, leaving you with a wad of correspondence that is much worse for the wear. Doesn't seem like it was really worth it. I could have killed him, but frankly, he's living on borrowed time. Not even through, like, my effort or anyone else's. Dude's gonna just die anyway. Okay, copper vessel, oil inside. Okay, so these are various things. You guys can see them in the chat box below, or just read them as I go by. I wonder if we'll actually have to replace them at some point, or if they're things that I will learn about. They might be things that I learn about as I explore. Oh, there's Teldon. Let's talk to him. The old man looks around you absentmindedly, the old man looking around absentmindedly shrinks away as you get closer. His head seems to shake uncontrollably, but his hands are surprisingly deft and assured as they level a magic wand at you. Stay back! Which are you? Robber or demon? I'm not going to hurt you. The old man goggles at you in terror, but doesn't lower his wand. A rustling sound comes from somewhere behind him. Rats. The old man wheels and carefully peers in the direction the sound came from. The hand on the wand gradually falls to his side. When he turns back to you, there's no fear in his expression, only vague confusion. I'm sorry, I was distracted. What were we talking about? Go to the Defender's Heart. There are good people there. They'll look after you. Let's go through the dialogue real quick. Okay. So we're just gonna trick it. Oh. Well, I don't like that, but I don't do a whole lot of chaotic actions. Okay. Ah. So there are thieves that stole a wand. Okay. I think that's all of them. Let's see. You said that angels, Targona and Lariel are twins, but how can angels have siblings? That's a good question, of course. Angels are not born like mortals, so they can't have a mother and a father, or sisters and brothers as we understand them. Angels come into being from reincarnated souls or from the pure essence of the upper planes. Sometimes angels may adopt some features of mortals, or instance they can identify as male or female, though that is generally not their way. Some of them can develop bonds of camaraderie or even kinship, but in the case of the Silver Twins is rarer still. They are two angels who emerge from one soul. Who else could they call themselves if not twins? Huh. Alright, go to the Defender's Heart. Really? It's safe there. But how can I leave the museum? His gaze falls upon the traces of the ransacking, and the old man becomes lost in thought, as though trying to find an explanation for what he's seeing. You know what happened here, don't you? Thieves they were, prowling about, wanted to rob the museum, but I stopped them. Those ne'er-do-wells came back here. I gave them what for, a dose of battle magic. I won't be back. Don't you worry about me. I may be old, but I can still hold my own. Okay, well, one way or another I got the keys. I probably didn't even need the keys. Where's my alignment? Okay, it's going a little bit on the neutral good. I should worry about that a bit. It looks like, some actions have a little bit more consequence than others, so I should probably start being a little bit more lawful, when I can afford it. Okay. This is dicey. This is probably what the key was for. Alright, and I think we're good. Gimme. Raise a piece. I realize I play this game kind of like a murder hobo, where I just kind of loot everything. Where I don't need to. Ooh, entrapping Longbow. That sounds good. Let me take a look at a couple of these things. Entrapping Longbow. Whenever it crits, all enemies must pass a reflex saving throw or be entangled. Well, that's a good weapon for him. I wonder if I'll ever get called out for this in the game. Ooh. Chain's shirt. Fancy one, too. Lady Calandra's chain shirt. Okay, well, I think I got everything in here. Yeah, let's get out. Unless there's something sneaky back there. Nope, doesn't look like it. Well. We got a bunch of goodies, and hopefully that guy will be alright down there. Unless he does end up going to the, Oh, hello. This translucent silhouette of a winged female warrior grows softly. You brought us back to waking. Greetings. Who are you? Not who. What? Memories. This place was created as a cradle of memory and fantasy. The things that belong to the city's heroes were kept here. People used to come to this place to remember those heroes, and myself and the others are living memories. You woke us, and here we are. Lots of things seem silent only until you care to listen to them. Like here, someone's memory is awoken to reveal itself to you. Your memories of who? Of the heroes the city wished to immortalize. Go, touch a memory, see how they remembered us. After all, this place was created so that our names would never disappear into the mists of history. There used to be a place like this near Neathholm. Lawn size, quiet, calm. Used to walk among the plinths and pedestals, wondering, the people who founded the place, what was driving them? What were they thinking about the future generations, and to pass down their wisdom and show the right path? Or were they thinking of themselves, trying to keep their names and deeds alive? Then the ceiling collapsed and that place didn't exist anymore, so my question is moot. Wish I could say we have not dishonored your memory, but Canabra's lies in ruins, and you fearlessly battle the invaders without thought for yourself. You have earned no censure. We're proud of you. Why did you help me? A soft smile appears on the woman's face. I sense something in you. As if you were close to me somehow, like we stood shoulder to shoulder in the face of evil, and we must do so again. I sense that light dwells within you. Very recently you were threatened by a powerful demon, and a dark bloodlust tried to enslave your soul, but you opposed it and held fast. Continue to follow the path of light, and other righteous souls will aid you and follow you. Farewell, Vision. Farewell. The power that gives us the semblance of life is running out. and soon we will once again be but memories, living only in words, pictures, and songs. Okay. I think we're good. That was neat, though. Alright. Now, unless I'm wildly mistaken, I think we've found and done everything. I'm really curious if I could actually just, like, manually attack the Grey Garrison. But no, we're going to go back to the Defender's Heart and we're going to rest, because we have fatigue. Except for Lon, who does not. When in doubt, save. That's a good point. Yeah! Marauder Fighter. Ow. I'm just gonna take it all. I don't think we're encumbered. We'll just take some of these back and sell them. Alright, and back we go. It does always weird me out a little bit when we get the random encounter and they always spawn right next to the weakest party member. I feel like it knows. It's gotta know. Ah. Sleepy. Sleepy game. Well, it's not actually that sleepy of a game. It's more a factor of, like, I'm trying to get as far as possible in this game, as fast as possible. Because long games destroy me. They absolutely do. It's really hard to work around. Oh, right. I was going to go sleep. That's what I'm going to do. Everything else is optional. Oh. But you know what? Less optional. Let's go sell some junk. Alright. We're rested. We're prepped. We're ready to go. I don't know if there's anything else for me to do. So let's go talk about this Grey Watch invasion. What's our strategy for the attack on Grey Garrison? Oh, Tower of Estrad has been cleared of demons. Great, the place where the demons have gathered... Great, the places where the demons have gathered need to be cleared one by one. They won't be able to stab us in the back when we take Grey Garrison. Thanks for your service. What's the strategy? I shall lead the rest of my forces in a frontal assault. This will distract the enemy long enough for you to use the secret passage and reach the Wardstone. Destroy it before the demons turn Iomede's gift into a weapon of the abyss. Most of the allies you found will join my forces, but you can expect a certain amount of support from them. The problem with the Desnans is that you never know what to expect from those daydreamers. Their honorable prior, Ramian, claims he had a vision in which his goddess was putting demons to sleep. I like to hope that it wasn't merely a dream. Everything's ready. Time to attack! As the story unfolds, you draw closer to events that have the power to change everything. Some quests and locations may become available. Proceed when you're ready. Okay. 1 second. I guess I should check my quest. I think the only one to even consider would be Common Cause and Outcast. Common Cause, Outcast, and Starward Gaze. I'm a fool, I know where she is. Yeah, there she is. Aranka. I tried talking to her, I thought. Thank you, stranger. The girl does not look the least bit scared. Her cheeks are flushed and her blue eyes glittering. For saving us from the demons. And for your timely entrance. I swear, I do not know who has enraged me more today. The demons or the oh-so-affable master of the house. I'm a friend of Ilk's. He asked me to find and protect you. The young woman claps her hands together. Ilks is alive. He's made a brilliant new friend. It's a shame it had to happen now when the city's under siege by the demons, and those pig-headed inquisitors are pursuing us instead of doing something useful. How'd you end up here? Hellrun's hounds found me and Wallflower and tried to capture us. I distracted them, then I lost them in the streets before charming my way into this party. Even if the inquisitors saw where I went, they wouldn't be allowed past the door. Hellrun holds no sway among certain members of the aristocracy. So I picked myself a good place to lie low. That is, until the demons showed up. The girl shivers and wraps her arms around herself. Now that's more like it. I have inadvertently been harboring a traitor wanted by the Canabra's Inquisition. This day wasn't such a waste after all. Do you know where the third of your group is? Wallflower? No idea. If he knows about the demon attack, he won't just hide away. He'll go and try to help people. If he doesn't know, well, you'll have no chance of finding him. He's a pretty skilled mage, but I doubt he'll risk using magic. He'll probably do something the Inquisitors won't expect. Pose as someone, disguise himself. We had a great selection of masquerade costumes in the temple. The girl becomes lost in thought for a moment. I know. I'll tie my shawl around your arm. Wallflower gave it to me. He'll spot it right away and know you're a friend. If I were you, I'd look for him in Canabras' market square. I killed Hullrun. He won't threaten you ever again. Shame it ended this way for him. Hopefully his successor will keep the Inquisitors in check. Why did you decide to break into the Wardstone and cast magic on it? You put your lives at risk. Your information could have been a trap set by demons. But it wasn't a demon trap, Aranka says forcefully. Then her voice softens and her expression turns pensive. You know, living next to the world wound and seeing the powerlessness of the Crusaders, it's very hard. We've been trying to defeat the demons for 100 years now. We have nothing to show for it. I think that Queen Galfrey and the other leaders think we can defeat evil if we line up our soldiers in perfect columns and send them marching off with a stirring battle cry. We just need a few more soldiers, a little more discipline. But we've been marching for 100 years, and it's always one step forward, 2 steps back. And while the soldiers are marching, people like Hullrun are seizing power behind their backs. His fanaticism and cruelty were forged in the same furnace as the Crusaders' righteousness. We'll never defeat the demons if we keep trying to march down the same path. We need to change tack. To challenge our principles, trust our hearts and our friends, not moldering doctrines. We need to listen to any entity that is willing to help us. My friends and I listened, and we trusted. And we tried to change something. At least we tried, even though it didn't work out. Naive children, that's what you are. But I admit your words stir something in my soul. I wouldn't put you in charge of a military campaign, but I'd be proud to fight alongside you. Can you get somewhere safe on your own? Looks like the Inquisitors aren't busting down the door just yet, and they're not hiding under the bed. So I think I'm safe for now. I'll be fine on my own. I'll go to the temple to Ilks. The Inquisitors must have searched there by now, but they won't go back a second time. As for the house, tell me about yourself. Okay, gotta go. Cool. Okay, anything else? Anybody else that I don't recognize? I'm shocked that I missed her initially. Drunk noble with just a regular dagger. Nothing great, but it's fine. Yeah, that was gonna bug me if I couldn't complete that one. I'll have to check the other one too, but I think we found pretty much everything. I think I found Wallflower. The eyes of a young lad peer out at you from under the massive helmet. At this proximity, it's obvious that his armor is ill-fitting and mismatched, and the helmet is specifically either poorly made or a theater prop. Pardon me, I saw you with that shawl. Does that mean that you're a friend of Aranka's? What I'm saying is, of course it does. Or what am I saying? Of course it does. So... Oh, are these Inquisitors? The young man's speech is interrupted by the arrival of a new cast of characters. People in the robes of Iomede's Inquisitors appear from all sides, surrounding him. Adept Thrall of the Temple of Desna, you are under arrest on the suspicion of treason and aiding the demons. For 1 minute to comply. Drag your feet, and we'll count that as an attempt to resist justice. The youth's eyes go wide, and he says nothing, clearly not knowing what to do. The problem is I hate all these lawful options. They freaking suck. You're torturing this poor boy for nothing. I can't stand for this. We are following orders and acting for the good of the city. The troublemaker must be arrested. No, no you're not. You're shits. At least they're not hitting Paul. I don't know. I hate how all of the lawful options in like every single video game just turns me into a monster. The young man glances at the bodies of the Inquisitors, then turns around. Oh, Desna, why? In doing what is right, must we so often be forced to spill blood when it's not necessary? Can this really be the price of the true path and of freedom? Anyway, thank you. I'd have been done for without you. I'm sorry it had to end this way too. I got a little confused about what was right and what wasn't. Our shunt with the Wardstone, I mean. It's my burden to bear. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to the Temple of Desna. I want to be alone with the goddess and reflect on all that's happened. Weird disease horse again. Alright, we found him. Ilks, Aranka, and Thal sit side by side like sparrows on a tree bench. They seem happy despite the chaos going around them. If it isn't our rescuer, it's good that you've come. Sit with us. I'm pleased to see you're all fine, but there's still much more work to be done for the city. That's true, Ilks nods. But can we give you a gift before you go? We wouldn't give this to anyone apart from the person who bravely defended us from injustice. The injustice inflicted by the people who should be pillars of law and order in our city. Our gift, Aranka cuts in, is a song. We call it Starward Gaze. It came to us from the true servants of Desna and our domain in Elysium. The song can gift a soul with renewed vitality. Just listen. Gotta sing the song after Aranka. Huh. Listen in silence. Free your soul, sing with us. I want to make sure you remember the song. It'll be useful to you in the future. You know, honestly, if I end up changing my alignment as a result of all of this, I will straight up switch my class. You repeat the melody, feeling it coming from somewhere within your heart, and then... When the music stops, Torgar Farpunch finds himself in a place that looks nothing like the ruins of Canabras. It all happens in the space of a blink. He closes his eyes on one world, and reopens them on another, one entirely. A delicate twilight envelops the new world, which streaks of moonlight breaking through the gloom. Torgar Farpunch is standing in a shallow stream of murmuring water, deep in a forest. There is no one else around. Garlands of unfamiliar climbing plants twine around the trunks of gigantic trees, and dangling from their branches are vines, woven into what look remarkably like swings. A carpet of fragrant grasses spreads out from the tree's roots, with islands of phosphorescent moss and lichen dotted here and there. Small, smooth stones with a strange mirrored surface are scattered across the stream bed in which Torgar Farpunch is standing. The stones catch the light shining down from the heavens, making them gleam silver, and making the ordinary little brook look like a stream of darkness, carrying a sprinkling of stars throughout the night. Torgar Farpunch is sure that he's never been to this place before, yet it feels so familiar. It is the manifestation, not of dreams or fantasies, but of that special way of looking at the world that only children possess, when a glint of light reflected off a piece of glass becomes a fallen star, when an oddly shaped stone can be a remarkable artifact, and when every shadow or twist in the path promises mystery or an incredible adventure. A single glance into the forest streams brings this rushing back. Realizing this, Torgar Farpunch unhurriedly makes his way along the stream bed, taking in his surroundings. The whimsically twisting streams run through the silent forest, and Torgar Farpunch unhurriedly strolls along it. This place evokes a strange feeling of calm. No, in fact, quite the opposite. A feeling of restlessness and anticipation of incredible discoveries or unexpected encounters. Or then again, perhaps it's not the place at all, but the eternal hunger, the craving for new experiences which dwells within many mortal hearts. Speculation aside, just as Torgar Farpunch rounds the next bend, an unexpected encounter does take place. They come closer, not attempting to hide, stepping lightly on the mossy carpet, leaping from branch to branch, or flitting through the air. The creatures are thoroughly bizarre, as though they were deliberately conceived to try the sanity of every taxonomist on the planet. One has the fluttering wings of a butterfly on its back. Another has tails of a dozen different animals, while a third boasts the tresses of streaming water, hooves instead of feet, and springy clover growing all over its skin. "We have a visitor," exclaims one of the strange creatures, and it immediately runs along the stream, sending up moonlight silvered splashes with every step. "Where am I?" "Do you not know where you are?" ask the creatures in amazement. I actually have to look at this illustration a little bit. Wow, that guy does have like a gazillion tails. There are plains of breathtaking beauty and plains of astonishing wonders, but only Elysium is woven from the craving for beauty, from the belief in wonders. And that's where you are. in the most peaceful, most wonderful corner of the plane of boundless freedom.
Who are you?
We are Azadas, the children of freedom, says one of the creatures, carelessly swinging from the branches of a tree. This forest is our home for today. Tomorrow our home could be a lake 100 leagues to the south, or an underground cave in the azure ocean, or a castle of clouds that scatters in the dawn breeze.
How did I get here?
We don't know how you came to be here, says the creature with a dozen tails, smiling. Mortals rarely come to Elysium during their lifetime, but here you are, which means you did something must have brought you. Something in your soul. If your soul did not harbor even the slightest spark of freedom, yearning, and compassion, you never would have found your way here. Now that you know the answers, tell us, what do you want?
I have to go back. They need me there.
The creatures with the butterfly wings, who has hitherto remained silent, gives the visitor a serious look and nods to itself. I smell the burning blood and tears of the place you've come from. It clings to you. It is right that you don't wish to turn your back on the suffering of those you left behind. None of us children of Elysium would do such a thing. Go back. Be a bulwark. I almost switched back to his voice. Be a bulwark against evil and strife. Your path is true. But would you like to take something from this place as a memento? The question hangs in the air. And though the words that Torgar Farpunch utters next are merely words, not a spell nor a military command, they seem to have equal bearing on destiny and life.
Yes, I really want to.
The Azadas draw closer. Take this memory with you. Take this light. Take the knowledge that any pebble struck by a moonbeam can be equal to any star. Take the understanding that you cannot fight evil with clever plans until you have conquered evil within your soul. And your soul cannot be cleansed of evil if it is not free. Take our song, remember it, and may it help you, but only when you're true to what brought you beneath this sky. All three adepts look at you wide-eyed. What just happened? For a second you were surrounded by light. All we heard was music, like the music of Elysium itself.
I had a vision. I was in Elysium and the Azadas spoke to me.
The adepts exchange looks of astonishment. I swear it's a sign that Desna herself has turned her gaze on you. You helped us and protected Wallflower from the Inquisitors, even though it wasn't your responsibility. The goddess couldn't fail to acknowledge such a noble soul. We might be getting ahead of ourselves here. There are many powerful entities in Elysium besides Desna, but of course, there must be a reason for it. I'm so glad to meet you, friend. And not just because I'd be tortured by the Inquisitors right now if we hadn't, but also because you helped me overcome my doubts. We will always remember you, no matter what. Hey! And we got a wand of remove disease. I really should probably use that on one of my party members, but I don't think I'm going to. It'll be fine. Whoops. Hello. Wrong direction. We want to go over here. Gosh, let me take a look at my biography. Oh boy. With every decision we make, we are just edging to neutral good, and it is just connect. I think part of it is, every good option pushes me down. Does that actually bring me closer? Yeah, if I start here and do this, am I closer? Yeah, to neutral good? Like I said, I'll just change my class entirely if it's going to force me down this path. Unfortunately, almost all of the lawful options are straight up just like, just murder? They're just murder. I mean, not all of them, but like a ridiculous quantity of them are just like, hey, but what if you murdered this person? And I kind of hated it. I kind of hate it. I don't know. It just feels gross to me. I like the idea of lawful in terms of like righteous justice and whatnot, but I guess maybe I kind of end up more on the chaotic side of everything. Whatever. Alright. Cold Waters. The Outcast. Okay, so the answer is Kaelessa attacks on the world map. So we don't have to worry about it. Perfect. I was worried about that. I don't care too much about, like, missing or failing quests, but at the same time, you really do lose out on a lot. I'll have to figure out a new class. I love the idea of being a Zen archer, but I think I might just leave that for Lon. and find a different role for myself. Honestly, like, it's halfway tempting to go druid or something. Maybe. Because part of it is, does she actually have the ability yet? Miasma. Starting at 5th level, if a Blight Druid is adjacent to a creature... Oh, adjacent. That part sucks. Okay, so we need to switch her weaponry around. I loved the idea of giving her the spear, but if she has to be adjacent, that's a no-good. What could she use instead? Well, she's an elf. She could probably use Abrupt Force. And maybe the Buckler? Let's try those. Armor and shields. And the Buckler. Not perfect, but good enough. Yeah. Because if we go back to her class... Okay, Fortitude, DC, 10 plus half the Druid's level plus Wisdom modifier becomes sickened for a round. Creature that is sickened... Yeah, so they'll just remain sickened. That's not actually as good as I remember. Oh. Because I was mixing it up with the other one. Oh, that's actually way less cool. I don't know. I might do some respecking. Maybe now. You know, I could actually turn Torgar into the weird glaive bearer. Give him the full plate. Switch it up entirely. And make Amber the other Zen archer. That'd be weird.